Hi, everybody. Welcome. You all know why we're here. It's an emergency broadcast. I'm like a mess right now. Not like emotionally, actually, believe it or not. I'm like in fairly good shape after the initial shock of what just happened. So welcome. This is an emergency broadcast of Resistance Live. Quick summary for everyone who is visually impaired. I'm wearing a lavender t-shirt today, straight from Sufts, that says Great American Bitch on it. Those of you who were at Progressive Coffee Hour for our Patreon subscribers this morning already saw it. My hair is a mess, half up, half down. I'm in my thick gold hoops. I'm in front of a set of standing shelves in my staircase and everything else. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So the breaking news is that Joe Biden has announced within the last half an hour that he is stepping aside as the presidential candidate for the Democratic Party. He has also wholeheartedly endorsed Kamala Harris. I'm shocked, I have to say. I definitely had a moment of like, oh my God. And then, you know, one of my kids burst into tears out of fear that Donald Trump is going to be reelected. And that was in between the window of the announcement and Joe Biden going all in on Kamala Harris. So I'm going to give you all like a minute here to have your moment of grief and anger about what happened at the hands of Democratic donors. All right. And we're going to take like 60 seconds for that while you listen to me, in which you are allowed to be angry and pissed off and mad. Okay. Because I get it. Right. I get it. And there are people who are mad, and I understand. And I'm also just going to say this. I had about 15 seconds of it, and then my pivot happened. All right. And I'm going to tell you right now that anybody who is sitting here right now with thoughts of vengeance, I'm going to write in Katie Porter for Adam Schiff. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that because you're mad that now we have an opportunity to elect the first Black South Asian woman president in American history. You should take a deep breath. Okay. First of all, we can't afford to lose Adam Schiff's seat. I said this morning. I said it this morning on Progressive Coffee Hour for those of you who are there. We cannot afford to lose any seat. Do not write anybody in. Hold your nose and vote for Adam Schiff if you live in California. That's the only answer. All right. Now, if you want to be mad, you're going to get another opportunity, because I'm going to tell you right now, if there is not immediate unity in the Democratic Party behind Kamala Harris, things are going to get a lot uglier. All right. I am going to tell you right now that I think this is a moment for everybody to get in line behind soon to be President Kamala Harris. All right. And I think it is a moment to do that in as full-throated a way as humanly possible. We have a war on our hands right now. If you think that this was going to be a hard election, I want you to consider how ugly it is going to get to have Kamala Harris at the top of the Democratic ticket as the first Black South Asian woman presidential candidate in history. All right. She is going to need every ounce of what we have to give and then some. Okay. Because the Republicans are already hoods off. MAGA, having taken over the Republican Party, is already hoods off. And it is going to get really, really, really ugly from here on out. You know what misogynoir is? If you don't, you should look it up. Just get prepared, because it's a term that's going to be in the lexicon a lot between now and November. All right. But this is the only answer. And I'm going to tell you right now that if these white Democratic donors don't get in line behind Harris, it's going to get really gross in the next week or so. All right. So I'm going to tell you right now that this is what we need to do. All right. And I want everyone to really think about this. Okay. What we desperately need right now, after this absolute show that we have had over the last month since the debate, is for every Democrat on the Hill, every Democrat in leadership, to get all in behind Kamala Harris. Full stop. Okay. So your homework assignments between now and tomorrow afternoon are to call your senators and your representatives and tell them to get behind Vice President Harris. Tell them that you already voted for Vice President Harris on the primary ticket, that you want a President Kamala Harris. That is your assignment. That's it. That's it. You must do it. And I'm going to tell you why. Because they're going to be getting calls from all these rando donor people, white guy tech bros, about how we should have the Blitz primary, which, by the way, I went through this morning on our Patreon only coffee hour as like the most insane plan ever heard. They all want Dean Phillips as the nominee. It's nuts. They need to hear from us. They need to hear from us like in huge numbers, because that, by the way, is the way in which we are going to make sure that they are listening to the people and not to the money. Okay. This is the moment. All right. So you have you could take your afternoon if you want to be really mad about this, but tomorrow we got to get to work. And I'm going to tell you all that there is no option now. We cannot sit around and whine about this. We cannot be depressed or upset. This is the time for us to so to speak, put on our big girl, whatever, and get to work for Kamala Harris for president. Okay. It is desperately, desperately, desperately needed that we all line up together and do this. All right. There is no other option. Somebody on my feed was like, Gavin Newsom. I'm like, why do you want a white man to run ahead of the potential history making first Black South Asian woman president in American history? Why would you do that? It's Kamala Harris or bust. President Harris or bust. That's why the Chiron says what it says. That's it. It's not going to be Dean Phillips as long as we all make our voices heard. And that idea, by the way, is insane. It's insane. It's only being fronted by these white tech bros, and it's not going to fly. So everyone needs to take a breath. You can have your moment of grief. I laughed. Somebody on the Patreon feed said, I just ran through all the 5 stages of grief in the space of 15 minutes. So did I. And now we have to do the right thing. Now, I'm just going to say one thing about this, okay? And I want it really to be heard loud and clear. There cannot be, at any moment from here forward, whether on this broadcast or anyone else, someone saying that America is not ready for a Black woman president. If you are interested in suppressing the vote, if you are interested in making people stay home, if you are interested in playing on people's latent internal racism, you can spout talking points like that. But if you are actually deeply invested in saving democracy and creating a better future, you better zip it on that. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you tell people that America is not ready for a Black woman president, they will assume that you are right. And I'm just going to say something. We are here right now in 2024, the year of our Lord. Okay? I went yesterday. Those of you who are on the Patreon only Progressive Coffee Hour know this already. And I saw SUFS on Broadway. And I'm going to tell you that there is an enormous storyline through that about how we as a nation have always told Black women that they have to wait their turn. Okay? This is not the moment where we are going to tell Black women to wait their turn. We are not going to tell this Black woman to wait her turn. We as white Americans are not going to do that. We are going to do the necessary thing and step in and support her election as the first Black South Asian woman president of the United States. Full stop, no debate. Shut the nonsense down. That is the only option. It is her turn. That's it. That's it. It's her turn. Okay. And I personally am going to sit here for as long as it takes between now and November and do absolutely everything within my power. And I'm not just going to sit here. I'm going to be in the streets to make sure Kamala Harris is elected president. Why? Because there is no other choice. No one else will win. She's it. Okay. Because if they try to slide some white guy into the slot, let me just tell you what that is going to do to the fundamental base of the Democratic Party. It will alienate every Black voter who has backed Biden-Harris, every Black voter who's backed Harris from her own prior presidential campaign. It is not an option. And in addition to that, it's amoral and racist. It is Kamala Harris or bust. So you better be prepared. Okay. And I have to say this to the white folks on this feed who occasionally are like, there's no way this will work. I'm just going to tell you right now, that is not an option. It doesn't matter what your opinion is. What matters is how hard you're willing to fight for the future. That's it. Okay. And I'm going to tell you right now, given that my non-binary child started crying the second this announcement came out, I will fight as hard as it takes, if it kills me, to make Kamala Harris the next president of the United States. And I expect, by the way, I hope that all of you will be all in on that as well. Now, there's a lot of speculation about the vice presidential nominee and who it will be under Harris, assuming that none of these white Democratic folks get in the way of it. All right. She has a month to pick her nominee between now and the DNC. All right. I'm just going to say to you all right now, I want everyone to be prepared for this. It will not be a woman. I know there are a lot of people who are saying Kamala Harris and Whitmer. I get that. That is not going to be the ticket. Okay, I'm just going to say it right now. There's not a chance in hell it's going to be a 2-woman ticket. It is going to be someone else, all right? And I will tell you that, if we're looking at a really revolutionary moment for the future of America, the nominee will be Pete Buttigieg. And I'm going to say one thing about this, okay? Because I want you all to think about this from the standpoint of campaigning and strategy, okay? Not just because Pete Buttigieg is married to a man, not just because it would be a revolutionary thing to have the first LGBTQ vice president of the United States, which would be amazing, right? Like, think about what a pushback on Project 2025 that ticket would be. But I'm going to say one other thing about this, which I really think needs to be heard. Pete Buttigieg is the best, most effective communicator that the Democratic Party has right now to right-wing talking points. He slaughters them on a regular basis on Fox News. He is someone who is such an effective messaging strategist on behalf of democracy and against Donald Trump that it would be a fool's errand to not put him in a position where he could do that on the regular. So I will tell you that, it would not surprise me one bit to have a Harris-Buttigieg ticket. I do not think it's going to be Gavin Newsom. Okay, I know other people are like pushing that as an idea. I don't think it's going to be Gavin Newsom, but we will see. And it will be up to Kamala Harris in her great wisdom with all of her qualifications and all of the advice of the people in her circle, including President Biden, to determine who the next vice presidential nominee should be. I am going to give you a moment because I think everybody should think about this and maybe we need it. You all have been here for a long time. Some of you have been with me now for 7.5 years. I am just going to give you a moment to envision what would be possible in this country with the first Black South Asian woman president, the first out gay male vice president, and the Senate and the House under Democratic control with a filibuster-proof Senate. If you need any reason to get excited about this transformational moment in American history that none of us really asked for, but we're getting anyway, that would be it. It would be revolutionary. It would be a revolutionary moment in America. It would actually be the end of Trumpism as we know it. And I personally will go all in for that ticket because I'm going to go all in for any Democratic ticket and I'm all in for Harris. All right. But I'm going to tell you right now, that as a ticket would be a revolutionary moment. It would change the future of America forever for the better. So I just want everybody to take a moment, and again, you can be upset, you can be angry. We are not, however, going to be stupid here. We're not going to throw away votes on Senate candidates who tried to push Joe Biden out. We're going to do what was done in the UK and what was done in France, and we're going to hold our nose. And if you're in California, you're going to vote for Adam Schiff anyway, because we need that seat. And the person running against him is a criminal, like a literal criminal. You're not going to do a write-in vote. You're going to hold your nose and vote for Adam Schiff. Just like you're going to hold your nose and vote for Sherrod Brown. You're going to hold your nose and you're going to vote for Jamie Raskin. You're going to hold your nose. You're going to vote for Zoe Lofgren. You're going to do all of it because that's what democracy demands. Okay. And then you will be, okay, this person's going. Anybody on here who says they hate Trump, but they're not voting for Kamala Harris, I'm just going to tell you your racism is showing and you are being banned from this feed. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now that there is only one option right now, and that option is to pivot, okay, to get all in behind a President Harris ticket. It is not going to be Liz Cheney. Don't be dumb. Sorry. I'm going to try really hard not to get mad at people today, but seriously, do you honestly think that they're going to put a Republican on the Democratic Party ticket? No. Do you know Liz Cheney is in favor of a full abortion ban? Come on, guys. Like, pull it together. All right? You want a better future? You want a better future for the nation? You want a future that actually reflects the wild and incredible diversity that makes us a strong nation? You are going to endorse a ticket of Democrats. Okay, I'm going to say one other thing here because I want people to just be very mindful of this, all right? I know there's a lot of questions about the money. There is a debate, even in terms of the interpretation of election law, about whether or not President Harris, Vice President Harris, will have, see, I did it already, will have access to the $91 million that was raised for the Biden campaign. The DNC money is different, okay? I want everybody to understand this. The DNC raised money goes to whomever the DNC decides it goes to, okay? There is $91 million in the Biden war chest. It is a Biden-Harris ticket that registered with the FEC to raise under that banner. There is an argument to be made that Harris will get access to that money. All right. That's the good news. All right. She may not have to start over from scratch. All right. But even if she does, we are going to make that happen for her through small money donations. And I, at this point, really don't care about what all these white rich tech donors have to say about this. This is our moment. Okay. And there will be an announcement, I am certain, within a minute or two of how you can go make contributions to a Harris for President campaign. We all have to do it. We have to do it. Even if you've only got a few dollars to spare, you should make a donation to do that because this is the moment to unify behind this woman as the next president of the United States. All right. I'm going to say one other thing here because I think it's really important and I don't want to get too emotional about it. All right. In SUFS, which of course I saw yesterday, there is a song that reprises over and over and over again about how long must we wait? How long must we wait for justice? How long must we wait for a chance? How long must we wait for our rights to matter? How long must we wait to see women in positions of power? Okay. I don't think we're waiting another minute longer. And I want you all to imagine what it would be like in November to finally, not just elect a woman to the president of the United States, but to elect a Black and South Asian woman who represents the vast diversity of America and who is entirely prepared to step into this role and potentially could be a life-altering president for this nation. I mean, you think what happened when Obama was elected in Chicago was a night? Let me just tell you, this is going to be like nothing you've ever seen. Imagine living to finish the fight, right? To put Trumpism to bed once and for all, and to have him be beaten in the lens of American history by an incredibly diverse history-making ticket. Just imagine what that would look like, okay? So this is the moment to step fully into the shift, all right? And as much as I think that what has been done to Joe Biden is shameful, and as much gratitude, oh my God, so much gratitude I have to that man, best president of my lifetime so far, for everything that he did. He forgave my student loans. It's personal to me, right? He passed legislation designed to protect my children. I will tell you that he deserved better than this. And nonetheless, we now know exactly what's in front of us. And our obligation right now is to get on the front lines and start fighting for this election on behalf of soon-to-be President Kamala Harris. That's it. And I expect you all to join me in this. I'll just say that. This is what I want. I want people to get behind this ticket like now, because we have to do exactly what we had planned to do, but like 15 times the effort. Because again, I'm going to remind you, like, the racism is going to be on full display. And we have an absolute obligation right now to get out there and fight for her. 100%. And I'm convinced we can do it. I'm just going to say this also. I want you to imagine what a debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is going to be like. Holy crap. Do you remember her interrogations in the Senate? Remember what those were like? All right. So I want everybody to just like take a pause. Don't send money yet. We do not know where the money is going yet. We need a moment, okay, for the Kamala Harris for President campaign to get ramped up. You need to do your homework, as I have already assigned it to you, which is to call your reps and senators tomorrow morning, first thing. Flood the Hill with phone calls demanding the endorsement of Kamala Harris. Okay. And then for good measure, you can call Chuck Schumer's office, and you can call Hakeem Jeffries' office, and you can call Pelosi's office, and you can call all the senior leadership. Call Steny Hoyer's office. Tell them that you want a full-throated endorsement of Kamala Harris for president. Be loud. Call multiple times if you have to. Okay. They need to hear from us. No more debate about this. Dems in array, Harris or bust. Like, that's the answer. All right. And one final thing that I'm just going to say here on all of this, okay? I know that we all would love to live in some precedented times, but I'm going to tell you, and those of you who have read my book will remember this, that like a week after Trump was elected, I had this insane dream where I was like in the middle of the worst rainstorm in the middle of a field with a group of like thousands of women. And it was incredibly scary, and the wind was howling, and there was lightning everywhere. And through the night, the women there, incredibly diverse intersectional women in this dream, like held on to each other. We got through it. We watched each other. We watched over each other. We held each other through the darkness of it. And then when the sun came up, it was all celebration. So I'm just going to tell you right now that I think the possibility of that moment is upon us. And it's time to commit to the idea of a better future and fight for it with every single thing you've got. Okay? Like, it is time. No other options. No time for belly aching. No time for distraction. all in, because it's going to take every ounce of effort from every single one of us to make it happen, and it's time. All right, that's it, you guys. Thanks for being here. We have 3,230 of you live right now. Please hit the thumbs up on this. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Share this broadcast with anybody who might need it, all right? And I will remind you all that I am here live 5 days a week, okay? If you want to ask me questions before every broadcast, you got to become a paid subscriber over at patreon.com/resistancelive. Tomorrow, the broadcast will be at regular time, which is 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, but the time is going to change this week because I just moved. So just like stay tuned for that. There will be an announcement. The announcement actually was supposed to come this afternoon, but then this happened. So tomorrow we're going to be at regular time, and then we're going to start a new series of hours later on in the week. Stay tuned. There will be an announcement about that. All right. I love you guys. I'm incredibly grateful for those of you here who are paid subscribers to this broadcast who allow me and my incredible team to keep doing this work. Thank you. Thank you all very much. And let's focus right now. Like seriously, let's buckle down and focus. It's President Harris. Get used to how it sounds. All right. And we're going to fight for it all the way to November. All right. I will see you all here live tomorrow. Hang in there, everybody. Take care of yourselves tonight. It's going to be an absolute cluster of media coverage between now and tomorrow morning. Rachel Maddow just came out of a field apparently to be on MSNBC. Buckle up and hold on. And this is the other thing, like seriously, you must make your phone calls tomorrow, because the last thing that we want right now is these white tech bro donors going, Kamala Harris should be passed over. No, she is the designated person. President Biden has endorsed her. She will be the next president of the United States. That's it. All right. Love you all. I'll catch you all here tomorrow, and get ready. Okay. Because tomorrow it's like all in for Harris. All right. Lots of love, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.